Supreme. Supreme Rising. You already know the vibes. See the title, Naga's thoughts, why the image of is so important. So we're gonna tap into that real quick. Supreme, supreme, supreme to everybody coming in. We'll get a chance to watch it from the beginning to the end. Leave a comment. Let me know you in the building. Give me some motivation. You know what I'm saying? Tell me where you from, if you're watching, and all that. We're gonna do that, right? You already know the vibes. All right, so let's get into it. Let me put my other screen on though, so I can zone out. All right, so look, Naga's thoughts. Why the image of is so important. So look, I don't know how many people are um empathic, can pick up on feelings and energies of certain things. You know what I mean? Like I'm very highly empathic. Like I pick up on shit. You know what I'm saying? Like so you feel all these different frequencies, and that's okay to be able to get into that type of position. But the reason why the image of is so important is because those same energies is what fuel you to be a part of the world. So you make worldly decisions based off how you feel towards worldly things. You will tie that in as it's something that's supposed to happen because you felt it. But then there's another frequency that's it's a little more, it's lighter at that moment. It's like light. You know what I'm saying? It's soft. And it tickles certain parts of you to tell you choose the way of the most high, right? That energy that goes. So it's like you're getting a feeling to be outspoken about certain connections that would be a divine understanding. You're supposed to speak towards that at the right moment. And it doesn't happen. But you'll speak towards what sounds good, like what the world says sound good, right? So you the gangster, you the bad. Like I was watching this I seen some video earlier, and the girl, she was a pretty nice looking girl, but she had like she was all like done up with a lot of accessories, right? And then she had her teeth done, in this certain type of way, and she pulled her mouth down, was like, "Yeah, I got my teeth done," and she threw her hands up like, "What's up? I'll wreck one of y'all now." Like having her teeth made her powerful, right? And I was like, that's an interesting concept to show off through that. That's what we would say in the hood, you showing off. You know what I'm saying? But for her to do that, it spoke to the type of frequencies that was truly inlaid in the type of person that she was, unbeknownst to her what it looked like. And then to the connections of what she was using to shine her frequency through that, it looked weak, right? So it's the same thing that men do in some aspect. And this is where that strength over weakness starts to come in. So it's the image of what it should look like when we are valuing certain things. So nobody's being outspoken. That's where the image comes from. You're outspoken about things of the world. Oh, I got this. I did that. I don't care about this. You got it. All these different things. You're very vocal about them. Very vocal. But when it comes to the truth about things, your feelings deep down inside, the things you rather project to somebody instead of say, that shit you'll send out. You be like, I'm about to send a mental message without nobody knowing and try to have these things happen. No, you got to speak on that because that's the image of. You got to stand on that. You got to say verbally, nah, this is what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to say, yo, look, that's what the image of is. It's power. So it's like if you choose to feed one of the other wolves, they just gonna get bigger, whichever one you choose to feed. And majority of the time, you don't choose to feed your divine wolf. You don't feed your divine wolf. You feed your earthly wolf. You know what I'm saying? And you're so resonant with those connections, like you'll go and do those motions loud and then disregard that you felt it that way. It's not like you're not duality. You're duality. Pretty much all signs have a dualic interpretation because we are born in this abomination. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something to comprehend. But first and foremost, nobody's making decisions based off that. They're making decisions either or, one side or the other. People haven't comprehended that the whole concept of it in itself is contrast to divine energy. So it's not about you being those, it's about being right. And you got to understand, like, if you've already made a lifestyle of contentious acts that didn't serve the right pretense, then unwinding that within self and fixing the closer ones will just give you that peace that you need, that connection to divine that you need, that rises you out of this shit. And then now you have a discipline that you stay on. Now you become, you know, a new person at that point because now you're doing things different. You have reinvented yourself to a whole nother way to where what you would have done or used to be is just not even it's not even a thought no more. Like you can remember, but it's not attached to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you go around thinking, I remember I used to be like this. No, it don't happen like that. Something has to spark it to even make you remember it. And that's how you know you've successfully pulled that complete skin of whatever that inherent type of character that might have came with you off and you are walking in a divine connection. That's how you know. Because you end up being everything that you're learning through those lessons. And that's the whole point of being. You know, that's why the image of it is so important. Watching someone do these things, you know how much pressure is behind that energy? It's a lot of power behind that energy. Like, and as soon as you do these things, right, how do I say this? These are all unconditional acts, right? They're all unconditional acts. So when you start trading in your worldly acts or your worldly characters for the divine characters, it's an energy that comes off of that. It pulses. You know what I'm saying? So you get a different response from people. You literally, that energy, like to light up all your chakras, you know what I'm saying? And actually be in that pure energy to where everything is lined up with you. You'll make a baby shit. I'm serious. Your pulse will knock the shit out of a baby's stomach. As soon as they come right next to you, you're like, what the hell? I'm telling you, yo, it's strong. It's strong, yo. You change characters with that energy. People who have bad days come around you, and that shit just kind of like push it. As soon as they walk into your frequency, it pushes whatever energy off of them. So they just feel different every step they take coming closer to you. This is why the depths of understanding what this really is super important. Like I hear a lot of people talking, but I know people haven't really put the real work in because they don't have these concepts of reality of thinking. It's not a normal, you don't hear people say the things that take place off of the discipline. That's how I be knowing. Like I'll be like, yo, they just saying stuff they heard somebody say. They haven't went through the discipline because it would have manifested into a certain thing. And then your story would be how that happened and what you felt to transgress that energy and then watch that replace one thing with a different thing. This is why the image of it is important. You don't see nobody cheering for the divine. And you ain't even looking for divine things to cheer about. Like you just waiting to hear somebody say something and then run with that. That's why I'd be looking like you could tell it's not real. And people be like, yeah, people will say, well, I'm I'm seeing people, they want to do this, they want to do that, but it's a different intention on the inside. That's why. That's why that manifests in those particular type of ways. But like, this is like, people don't concept divine energy. They keep trying to subsidize it for a way for it to attach to them. And that's not even a reality. Like, you have to do the disciplines because it's things that come with that. So then you being the image of the lesson that you're learning and standing on it, not tucking it away because you're embarrassed by it, or you shy, or you saying, well, I ain't gonna let nobody. All that does is shows divine that you're filling in a different bubble opposed to going forward. And going forward, it allows you, see, because you go forward with the worldly things, you step right into the worldly things. You go right into it. You don't, like, you know what I'm saying? You go right into the worldly things. It don't matter what it is. You're not going to, and your conversation going to start off worldly every single time. Oh, you dealing with these things in the world. Da, 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 da. It's never, you know what I did. You know what I'm saying? It's never, I'm going to give you a good example. Like, yo, I had this thought and connection, and it'd be just like this. This how it manifests. So you'll know something is off. You'll know that you did some wrong shit. But because you said whatever you said against whatever value, now you standing on the concept of what we call a lie. You living on that. You said whatever you said, but the actuality, the true feelings to it, they real. It's so real. Like, it's like you are dealing with duality. Sometimes you can get away with lying on somebody because they got fucked up ways. But when you do it to something that's really not doing anything to cause the issue, this subsequent value, you're going to think about it. You're going to face it because it's a reality that you could have been a part of instead of being against in whatever value, you know what I'm saying? Because of whatever shortcoming you're dealing with, you could have been a part of that energy. So now you're feeling that contrast is pulling you both sides. You're like, damn, I knew I was wrong. You know, man, you know what? Not, they can feel me. So I'm just going, you know what I mean? I'm going to present like this, and it'll, you know, it'll seem as if everything is working out right. So then what you're doing is the energies itself, the frequencies, they're distorting, right? They're distorting. So you're trying to push a frequency out like that. It's distorted. It's coming with like colors on it and shit. Them keys don't work. Those keys, they don't never work. Because they're bending. Each frequency has its own direction of how it moves. So when you have different interpretations on one frequency, they bend. So you can't stick that into the keyhole to unlock the 1111. It just won't do it. It has to be a pure frequency. So then the image of it is you manifesting that frequency into your action. So now you're being what it is. So then you end up speaking what it is. Then you end up moving on what it is. You're literally manifesting that righteous energy through your actions. That's what manifestation is. You're pulling energy through yourself and you're being it. You can pull negative energy through yourself and be it. You manifest more negative energy in existence than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does. And subsequently, they'll sit down and say, this is what you want. You'll just move in that particular way. You know what I'm saying? So it gets deep, but you can have that in reverse too. You can manifest a positive aspect if that's what you want. Instead of thinking that I feel like this, I wish these things would change. I wish it was like this. Instead of thinking that and thinking it's just going to come through, it can never come through a closed door. It will never come through a closed door. And the way you open that door is concepting that reality. You have the door closed because you want it's like you have to think about it. Your body is what does the actions. So you can't want something and your body don't move that way. That's how it comes out of you. How else is the energy going to shine? You can't just send a thought. We ain't in that time no more. Back in the day when we was acclimated to that particular energy to be high in telepathy and our mental functions, it was because we had adapted the full muscle of the environment and the physical being into that same capability. So doing that was more accepted. Now we are more verbal. And the verbal energy is powerful. It's its own frequency. It's its own life. So you're not going to do something that's complete opposite. You have to be very strong. And this is where some of these people who pop up at who can do that. That's like their energy is really pulling through this dimension to be existing. And that's because of the gaps. But one thing got nothing to do with the next. I ain't going to go into that. But yeah, this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. So you have to be vocal. You can't just feel it and don't say nothing. That's like, yo, I felt somebody. It's like if I'm feeling somebody emotional, right? And I'm like, I get emotional because I feel them crying. And then I don't say nothing about it. Then I won't manifest the connection. So now I know this person right here, I haven't even spoken to them yet, but for some reason, an overwhelming feeling came over me and I started crying. And I'm like, damn, why I feel like so-and-so going through something. And I don't say nothing. So I will never manifest a connection to that. But if I feel that, right, and I know I feel it deep down inside, what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to say, yo, you was all right today? Or at that moment that it hit, don't wait till later. At that moment that it happened, pick up your phone and you call that person and you be like, yo, you all right? Well, I feel like you know what I'm saying? I got to be all emotional and shit. They be like, yeah, I was emotional too. You just bridge the connection. That's the image. So you spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? Person one spoke to, they called the person, they acknowledged the fact of what was happening. Now that person and their state of mind is connected to this individual. That right there is a universal plug. It plugs in. You know what I'm saying? So you're speaking towards the energies that exist. You know what I'm saying? If they're not real, the plug won't go in. Somebody could call you and say some shit. You be like, nah, that ain't happen. I had somebody do that to me. Hit me up on TikTok one day. It was like, yo, you going through these experiences and these people. I'm like, yo, I don't, that's not happening in my life because I don't got them type of people around me. It was funny, but it was like they was trying to connect to me. Some people know this already, you know what I'm saying? But they can't bind themselves to you unless you allow them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it don't matter. A person can think for a million years and that shit will be sitting there stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's because they're not willing to cross the physical line, the physical barrier. These are all levels, all these levels. This is what I'm saying. If you understand the discipline that comes with all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Then you'll know these things. Like, that's why I be listening. I'll be like, yo, these people be winging it. People be talking, they just be winging it. Cause I'll be like, you could tell by the way the conversation is, it's not no physical attribute. You may do a portion of it, but that portion doesn't give you the full totality of the knowledge. That's why everybody be speaking on fly by night shit. Like, yo, this may happen. This is a possibility. Fit it in where it fit in. And I'm like, yo, that's not how this shit works. You got to be able to literally, like, it goes together. The whole thing goes together. You know what I'm saying? Like the feeling, the spoken part of it, and the action. They go together. That's what makes the knowledge clear. You know what I'm saying? You are 3 melanin in your existence. So you're talking about tapping into existences quantumly, right? Things that you don't see on this level. You're not going to get that full totality unless you manifest the 3 dimensions. And that's within comprehending that. So then I felt it, right? I spoke it and I did it. This is why sometimes people speak things and they end up doing it because they didn't realize they felt it. So they spoke before they realized they, you know what I'm saying? Like shit get crazy, yo. Like I'm not gonna keep dropping these sciences. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't keep just giving it away, like for real, for real. Like I told y'all manifest the world because they get y'all to do this all day long. They get you to feel some type of way. Then you go home, you speak about it, and then you put action in it. You just made that company, literally. You literally just made that company. They get y'all to do this shit all the fucking time. Why do you think they show you so many ads? They got to get you feeling it first. Then you're going to go talk to somebody about it. Then you go spend your money. You just made this a reality. And then this was crazy about it. They get a boost of energy because they make you spend money, moon energy. So they take your energy compiled with moon energy. That's a whole combination of something else. Like you really sticking a whole Kamehameha ball in that, like, take that. That's my energy. Here, Goku, take my energy. A spirit bomb. Like this should work. Like, it should be funny to me. I be sitting back like, yo, I don't think people get it, yo. And I hear everybody, and everybody wants to sound all serious and you know what I'm saying? But it's still inlaid with the non-retrospect of the truth. of the attribute of how energies actually work. Like if you take this concept and put it on even the religious potential, you can see what was going on back in the day. You can see what's going on now. Like that's why I say it's different levels to seeing. And you don't even get a chance to see right because your eyelids, you ain't unlocked the eyelids. It's so many different, like you know how in Transformers, they was already Transformers, and then he got like the spark and he was able to upgrade. It's like that. So the more you grow your light, the more you upgrade. You know what I'm saying? You upgrade yourself. And that comes by the actions that you put in being an image of. Like if you afraid to stand up and speak to any, that means you was easily able to give away your divinity. You know how you put your divinity down because you'd rather be subjected to what somebody does to you, opposed to you fighting through that. You know what I'm saying? You remember how they said the dudes, they said they'd rather die than be subjected, so they killed themselves, jumped in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in some values, depending on the aggressiveness of the circumstance, these are the equatabilities. But see, now it's got down to the fact that where people are lost, they're so lost, they don't know which direction they're pulling and pushing from. You know what I'm saying? You got your own culture trying to be that over you, when in fact, all of you can be that. You just have to choose to be the image of what it is in the physical attribute first. You're going to have these feelings, but you're going to also have the negative attribute. It's contrast. But you are reaching for the higher level. You're trying to go upstairs. So that means you have a retrospective things you need to do that takes you upstairs, and that discipline that follows that. But then the way it works is you're going to feel it, you're going to speak it, and then you're going to do it. You're going to be the image 1,000,001 times before you get up the first few stairs. This is what that repetition of that energy, it inlays light inside of you. It keeps inlaying light. It keeps inlaying light. And that light expands to where you go from walking to floating, from floating to, to the next. Like you just keep going. Like you ever seen a shooting star? That light carrying that rock. Shit burning up everything around it. That's why it's just burning up things around the atmosphere because of its speed. It's tremendously moving fast and it's entering atmospheres and it's burning up things around it. It has light carrying that rock. On the outside, it's a light body. It stretches until that light's frequency from where it came, that energy that's around that what made it project. That's a projectile. So when that light, that shows you how far that light came from wherever it was projected from. It could have been light years, but that shit been flying with that same source of light around it from as far as it go. It don't turn off and turn on to when we seen it, it just start changing colors. Nah, that should be having a light trail over it before it gets in our view. So how can you say it's burning up an atmosphere? No, that's the energy that it's coming from where it came. So that means that rock is fully charged. It's fully charged until it run out of energy. That's why you see shit passing the earth and it'll just be fully charged with energy. And look, and they be shooting too. Yeah, that shit's a lot of power. You know what I'm saying? People don't concept things the right way. People don't concept or comprehend things the right way. You know what I'm saying? So this is why the image of is so important. It's the basis of discipline. Like to be in the image is not you just standing out there like, hey, look at me with my new kicks on. It ain't like that. It's you repeating processes every opportunity you get. And then check this out. Your body is aligned with that physical attribute. So it's like once you start doing these things on the outside, you literally pressing controls on the inside of you. Because every particular day of each month is one day for each person on each month that circumvents the day you came into this world. So it's like saying you were born, if we got, just for example, we got 12 months. Even though we know it's more time, I'm not doing all that, but we got 12 months. So each day of the 12-month year, you were born. Even though you were born on one day, that cycle of that time frame from that day you were born to the next, you know what I'm saying, to that month frame, it recreates itself every month. So each day on each month you were born, right? Each day, your energy, the oil, if you're not doing worldly things, if you're not like out here getting super drunk, you're not having obsessive sex, you're not on heavy drugs, you're not overindulging, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not a super alcoholic, You know what I'm saying? Like you just on some normal, moderate shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the oil in your body, it processes. It goes through these squeezes because this is why your brain is actually shaped the way it is. If you look at it on the inside, it has like compression pack. It has like this mesh that looks like it's pumping shit down. It's really your brain, but it's pumping shit down to the compression pack, which that filters through these other little gadgets that they got going on in your brain, and it's connected to your spine, and it squeezes all the way down your spine. So that oil is the high quality oil that is separate from the same oil that you use to create life. So that oil you use to create life is the clear oil, the semen that carries, the white stuff. So it carries that. So when that goes, that can create life. That's how powerful that first oil is that a man carries, but it's in his brain too, right? You carry a secondary oil. The secondary oil is the golden oil. You know what I'm saying? It's the golden oil. So it's mixed with other qualities in your body that makes it golden, but it secretes down through your spine. It has to be, because that's the day you were born, and that day is what started your transition. Like we look at life like you just grow like a tree. We had to have other things around us to make us feel comfortable about the fact that we morph. We are morphing animals. You know what I'm saying? Like everything morphs. It goes from one day to the next day and it sheds. You know what I'm saying? Like it keeps shedding a new existence. We look at it as growth, but we morph literally. This shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So as humans, as we're changing, we need something that's going to constantly stretch the body and change it, to give it what we call growing. You know what I'm saying? This whole concept of growing. If you look at other animals, they just drop a whole skin level. Their whole skin just comes off, you know what I'm saying? Or they eat their old self and they become something different. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit is real deep if you really paying attention, if you're really comprehending your reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying? Most people just look at it in a mundane way. They are very naive to society or to things that are literally around them. So y'all move kind of carelessly. Anyway, so this oil, this certain day for you, every month, it recharges and it goes down the pineal gland. It goes down the spinal cord, and it has to come up. So when it comes back up and it sits into your chest plate, you're supposed to push air. You're supposed to be able to hold your breath and push it up. You know what I'm saying? You can hold it for a certain amount of time and you'll feel it rise up. You know what I'm saying? These concepts, they take place and you're supposed to be apt with it while you're walking into doing powerful shit. It helps. So those lineups is discipline. So when you're doing all these things in discipline, you know what I'm saying, just as much work as they put in doing some bullshit, it's some work to put in on your grind to go up, but you have to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you know what you're doing and you're doing it right, and you start inlaying these things with the fluids, you know what I'm saying, and certain high potential eateries, certain concepts of rest that sparks energy. It's a lot of things that comes. I can have a whole conversation, and I wanted to do, and there's so many things I want to do, but I need support. But you already know the vibes. Like we'll get there when it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? But so I had the series on God of Awakening Gods. Like I know how to take you where you need to be to get you. If it's disciplines you have to, these disciplines, once you get them, then you start being able to see the real results of them. Ain't nobody gonna tell you this because they don't want you to see the real results. They'd rather have you trip into it. And when you fall into it, you have this burst of light and you're like, oh my God, what's happening? And then they can guide you away from the true thoughts of what that is. So then they can have you in, it's like controlling the sand or controlling the great being. As the being awakens, I'm going to explain it to them different. That feels good, but then in the same retrospect, I'm gonna be able to control this energy. And that's how it is. Because if everybody woke up or did the disciplines and came to that knowledge in full totality, it would be an explosion of light. You would lose like the majority of the greatest population. This is what they be talking about, the rapture and all that other shit. But it had to be explained away. It had to be explained away in another understanding. So now you got people thinking that, oh, this gonna happen, we just gonna leave and I'm gonna be up there with them. And people don't even understand what none of that is. This is dimensional access. You know what I'm saying? It's dimensional access. Like you see it all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You see people talking about, oh, they got these places, this place, and all this, that, and the third places. that existed on a map that nobody can actually talk about. No, your information don't even get a chance to take you there, because it's a spiritual block in between us. These are frequencies, dimensions. Like I said, it's dimensions right here within dimensions on the same level. You know what I'm saying? Some things die and they stay to help that Velcro-ish type. It's a crazy energy that you can't go through. Your whole body will fizz out. You'll fizz out and wake up in a hospital, like, you know what I'm saying? Feel like you just blacked out. You ever like stood up too fast and your whole shit black out? Like you just fizz out. Yeah, it'll turn you off. It'll turn your lights out. Like Hassan Campbell say, it'll turn your TV off. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like people don't understand. Y'all don't understand death. You don't understand the concept of energy and how that's working with you. And like one thing said that these people, they still don't get it. They be like, yo, we're going to shoot a rocket. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Look, when your physical body, that's why they got to have so many things over you and all these different things in this container when they're trying to call themselves going into space. You try to push your body through that spiritual bubble that we around right now, the whole body turn off, yo. It turns off. And they hoping that when you turn off, they keep you in stasis and you can fly to another body that has enough spiritual jump to when you go through that, them bodies wake up. It's like they hoping it'll recharge, like, and turn you back on and shit. Nah, everything is spiritual energy. Everything is spiritual energy, yo. Whether they want to concept this reality or not, speak to y'all about it, tell you, they ain't gonna say anything. You gotta just be understanding why you're rising your energy, so you can go through. And they showed you, they show you all these different stories. Like the one guy took the story from the Dogons, but then he made it in. It's a picture of him like halfway in this world and halfway in the other world. His body, he's finally went through it. His face, he like, I'm through it. And it's like space on the other side, or he crossed through space, right? And it's like a small barrier that he walks through, but he's literally walking through it. But then the Dogon's like, yo, we walked here. You know what I'm saying? We walked here. How'd you walk here? It's because a level of, and that energy, it's like you're paying. Then they tell you about in the Greeks, oh, you got to pay this golden coin. You got to pay this golden coin to go in between Hades and in the real world. I got to go get my girl. She died. I want to go get my girl. She wasn't supposed to die. Here, take these coins so you can get on the boat and cross the waters. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't listen to none of this shit. Y'all think it's like, y'all think, oh, that's, you got to pay. You got to get the right type of God coin so you can go over there. No, that shit don't mean none of that. The golden oil, that's what they told us. That's why they just put it in a coin. They didn't want y'all to concept none of this reality. I'm so serious. Like, they don't want you to know, but I be getting the downloads. I already be knowing. I'll be like, yo, you can't hide shit. But yeah, that's what it's you. It's you building up enough of that golden oil inside you to where your flesh literally can walk in between spaces in this dimension. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can walk in between dimensions. Why you think they show you and they try to deter that value by showing you somebody just popping up here, like aliens popping up out of a portal here, when the true dimension is on the edge. You know what I'm saying? So they'll make it seem like it's a light blast, or something came out of some light. Man, look, this is why people were all over the earth. They were everywhere. It wasn't no consolidated place where people wasn't able to go places. No, people were everywhere because there was so many edged access points. So when you rose, then you was able to go. Why do you think you had so many brothers out there in Russia when Putin talking about, oh, yeah, they was out here. This is the ice was out there. They was able to cross over land masses to take them to another exit that's over there. You know what I'm saying? So when they had that event there, nobody was trying to hold them back from doing that. It was something to see. When everybody got a chance to understand how to treat people and doing it the right way, how to make the right decisions based off how they felt opposed to what they want. They learned how to go against the flesh, and you started seeing the nation of people gain a light. The spirit grew to the flesh. This is what their pictures is trying to show you. Those old pictures that they had in the vault, they're trying to show you how babies was doing it off watching because they learned from the parents. So they didn't have to go through the whole process. They felt that energy from their parents and automatically turned on. So you're not leaving nobody behind. This is how this works. So, yo, this shit is deep. This shit is so deep right now. I'm telling you, like, ain't nobody gonna really concept. And I know people don't get it. I can watch and tell that y'all don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But all praise due to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Divine didn't skimp on anything. Divine gave us everything that we needed to get to where we're supposed to do it, to get to where we're supposed to go. And it's within how we deal with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's where the real strength at. Look at my ear just turned on. Oh my God. As soon as I said that, it just said, doo. So yeah, it's everything divine gave us to rise. Our spirituality is in the workers of how we deal with each other. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we not feeling good about changes right now, because we're too busy, you know what I'm saying, watching everything else happen. You're outside of yourself. But if you get to just doing right within your culture, you know what I'm saying? Don't be selfish, and don't be like I'm only working with these people. You know what I'm saying? Make you align to where you're gonna run out something. Take something that you're gonna sacrifice. Like, say for example, you a Floyd Mayweather, right? Say I'm about to sacrifice 100 million, right? And you get you a mark. You start from I'm gonna start from this mark, and I'm gonna end up there. I don't know who I'm gonna see in the middle. I ain't telling nobody. I'm gonna go from this mark, and I'm gonna go down there. I'm giving everybody money out of this. I ain't even telling nobody. I'm just about to go give people some bread. I'm going to all where my people at, and I'm gonna hit up those areas and keep going. Get your security and ride out, do some crazy shit, right? Encourage other people to start bringing back that value. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying whatever. It could be anything. It could be somebody that took their money and they bought a bunch of homes, and then they went and got bus loads of their people and brought these people to these homes and say, y'all live here now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got this much time to get acclimated. You know what I'm saying? And you got this much time. You got to contact these people. It's going to help you with some work in my companies. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really got it like that, you know what I'm saying? Why is your money not working for you? And you subsidizing people that can use it? Like, it's so many. Like, if I was a philanthropist, that's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would show people what to do, because I don't think people know what to do with money. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't know the conversation of money anyway. Most of y'all just have money just to have it. You don't know the conversation of money. Money talks all day long, every day, and it doesn't talk the way y'all think it talks. You know what I'm saying? No, I haven't heard nobody listen to money. You know what I'm saying? Like, those type of people, I don't think they live no more. I think they dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm cut from an old school cloth. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, the conversation of money is different. You just know what you know when you know it. That's all I'm going to say. Either way, I ain't going to hold you. Just trying to show you something, man. It's not gonna wise. It's about the image, man. Keep the disciplines tight. Stop working out all the negative things and manifesting that. Stop feeling the negative shit, speaking the negative shit, and doing the negative shit. When you feel that positive shit that you want to do to make things better in your life, that love, that true unconditional love, and and you sitting there upset because of that, take that, feel that, speak on it, and then act on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get things to work right in your life. It's not about the receival. It's not about what's going on. It's about how it happens. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be like that. It's not about what you went through. It's about how you handled it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't about what you did. It's about how you did it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole value. Divine don't shy on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Get your life right by being right. I ain't trying to hold you. It's not gonna wise. 1000.